Virtually every activity we humans engage in generates waste. And everywhere we go, we leave a trail of rubbish in our wake.
We've got millions of customers through here a day, millions. I'm not just talking millions, millions walking through, making a mess.
At London's Marylebone Station, Hazel Latham and her team of cleaners know all about our insatiable appetite for consumption.
From the time you get in, 5:30, until the station shuts, you're on the go, constantly cleaning. We've got loads of waste here every single day.
And it all adds up. 660 tons of rubbish gets dumped at Marylebone every year.
It drives me nuts.
But it's our love affair with our daily caffeine hit that causes Hazel the biggest headache.
They love drinking coffee. I mean, there's just tons and tons of coffee drinkers. Lots and lots of coffee cups. But they don't want to take it home and put it in their bin. They just want to dump it for other people.
Nearly 3 billion coffee cups are trashed every year in the UK. Shockingly, only around 8% of them are recycled, because the plastic lining means they can't be recycled as paper or plastic. The answer is to collect the cups separately and send them to a specialist paper mill.
Now, we have the great recycling cup unit. We have actually 10 of these around the station. The commuters love it. So we don't have all of the waste of the cups now. They actually use this. So this is for the cups in this one, and then you've got the liquid. So basically it's what they've not drunk, they will put it into the liquid, and then we have the lids one in there.
Marylebone was the first station in the UK to install these units, and last year collected over 160,000 cups.
It's fantastic. Thank you.
But their popularity means keeping all the 10 units from overflowing is a constant battle for veteran commuter cleaner Hazel.
It is a big job because you have to be on it every 15 to 20 minutes and you're on the go with that all the time. And not only does people use that as for cups as well, they do use it for rubbish bins. So can you see like where you see that? That's a plastic bottle. That's what they do. Lots of food, newspapers, bottles and glass bottles and all sorts. So we need to try and get that out as much as we can.
If they don't, the recycling plant won't accept the cups themselves.
You can imagine that, you've got 10 units around the station, and if every single one of them has got food and everything but the cups, it can be quite frustrating. I meditate when I get home. I do yoga classes. No, I'm only joking. I don't really.
But when a specialist recycling company arrives to pick up the cups that would otherwise go to landfill, at least Hazel and her team know they've done their bit in the battle to save the planet.
Oh, I'm just living the dream. I love it.
One item that's not been designed to last is the takeaway coffee cup. And only a tiny percentage of the 3 billion we use in the UK annually gets recycled.
Yeah, just turning right into the depot now.
But coffee cups gathered from Marylebone Station and other special collection points are bucking that trend.
Nick, move them bins out of the way.
These cups, they stink.
Mick Wolford is the yard supervisor at Simply Waste Solutions near Heathrow.
There's always going to be rubbish, so I'm always going to have a job.
Every week, over 1 million cups collected from coffee shops, restaurants and stations all over the southeast arrive here to be crushed into bales, 8,000 cups at a time.
What we do is just take the bag, tip it in there. It's a great job, isn't it? Yeah. Lovely. Waldek speaks very little English. I speak even less Polish. We tend to not laugh so much Hey, Valdek.
Mick has worked alongside Valdek since he joined the company 2 years ago.
When we first started, we didn't really do many cups, but since then it's taken off. I think last year they done 6.3 million cups. And I think that just touches the tip of the iceberg, really.
And it's a smelly old iceberg too. Many of the cups are contaminated with waste when they arrive here.
They're nasty. Throw that one.
These coffee cups are destined to become cardboard packaging, so it's essential only the paper is sent to the mill.
And then just take out anything that might not be right. You know, little plastic bits. Yeah, there's an apple core there, yeah. Tea bag, rubber bag. Okay, Valdek. Now he's going to push that over there, and we're going to get ready to load them into a baler, which squeezes them together to make it that shape.
You might hate the smell of old coffee cups, but here at the yard there is one thing Mick does have a soft spot for.
I've got a licence to drive most things. So yeah, I'm the main operator. It's my office.
His beautiful 17-ton A316 electronic grabbing machine.
Okay, so we just grab this. Nice and carefully so we don't squeeze it too hard. I love it. I love my job.
Mick must lovingly feed the crusher with 16 full bins in order to make just one colossal bale.
Yep, happy days, yeah. Right, we ready?
Yeah.
So let's finish this bale off.
The high-powered hydraulic presser slowly crushes around 16,000 cups together using 65 tons of brute force.
Come rain, shine, snow, sleet, we're out here doing it, aren't we? Every day.
Every day, yeah.
Every day. If you imagine that many cups still loose, it takes up a lot more space on the lorry. Get as much as you can on there so it doesn't cost so much with the haulage. So Valdek's going to pop it out and the bale.
10 minutes later, ta-da! Mick then heads back inside his office to start tackling his enormous pile of paperwork.
Yeah? Okay, let's rock.
But the paperwork can sometimes prove problematic.
Yeah, these are wet cups because they've been sitting there for a little while, you know, and they're covered in coffee and milk. Gone a bit too soft. So we're coming at it from a different angle. Yep, perfect. There you go. Solved. Another crisis.
Just in the nick of time too, as this load is destined to join the 2,500 tons of recyclable paper that arrives every day at the UK's largest mill. We get through a mind-boggling 3 billion takeaway coffee cups in the UK every year. But at the moment, only about 8% are collected, baled up by people like Mick and then transported to paper mills to be rebirthed.
This process is running all the time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
DS Smith is the UK's largest paper mill, with up to 140 lorries arriving here every day. Loaded with every conceivable type of used paper, from newspapers to pizza boxes and greeting cards. Over 1 million tons of it a year.
Mark, could we have that bale round on E-line? Would it be possible, please?
Terry is on the front line of this particular battle against rubbish.
This has been my life for 31 years. So if I didn't like it, I wouldn't still be here, would I? It's very rewarding. Very rewarding. There goes our belt moving.
The conveyor belt is essential to the war effort. Continuously feeding the huge paper bales up to a hatch that drops them into a colossal stainless steel vat. And it's Guy Lacey's job to make sure the pulper, as it's known, never goes hungry.
You know, the best way to describe the pulping process is like a food mixer.
The pulper can break down up to 6 tons of old paper at a time, stirring it together with warm water to create a soup or suspension of paper fibres.
The motor at the bottom of it is about the size of a Formula 1 engine. So it's nearly a megawatt in power, so it's a very big motor. And we need that power to separate all the fibres from any other materials.
And the pulper is much more than just a giant blender. It contains sensors which carefully control the amount of paper fibres going into the mix to make sure the blend is consistent. Due to their plastic lining, coffee cups only ever make up a very small fraction of any brew.
If we have too much plastic, it constipates the process basically, and sometimes the process can come to a stop because there's too much plastic in the fibre.
Once all the plastics and other impurities like sticky tape have been filtered out, the soup-like solution is pumped through to the paper-making plant itself. A gargantuan aircraft hangar-sized room.
This is where the hard work of the paper making starts.
Looking more like an aircraft control tower than a paper factory, a team of engineers monitor every moment of the process. Having reduced the paper to a watery soup, it now needs to be dried out.
So the paper making process is very complex, but actually it's very simple in process. We add lots of water and we want to drain it out as fast as possible.
First, the pulpy soup is sprayed through high-speed jets into a polyester panel where it starts to form a paper sheet.
We press the water out in basically a big mangle, a big pasta machine, and then we have to dry it.
We're actually sucking the water from the sheet of paper as it's shooting through here at very, very high speeds, 1,100, 1,200 litres a minute.
The newly formed sheets are wrapped around steam-heated rollers, and the process is repeated multiple times to slowly evaporate the remaining moisture.
But yeah, it looks good. The sheet's nice and stable. You can see we've got a nice tight draw. I always liken it to making a sheet of pasta and rolling a pasta sheet. You've got to be very careful. You do it a number of times, and each time you get the sheet longer and longer, and that's exactly what we're doing in this process here.
So, just how long does it take to make paper from your old coffee cups and other cardboard trash? The answer? Just 45 minutes to make these jumbo 70-kilometre long, 7-metre wide, 50-ton reels.
So this is the finished product. This is what we make. These are the reels of paper that will go out to our packaging plants, and we will make the cardboard boxes from these reels.
But it won't be long before the paper they contain is back here again.
We will send paper from here today. It will land in one of our box plants tonight. It'll be made into boxes. They could be on the supermarket shelves within a few days. And they'll be back here within 10 days. 10 to 14 days we'll see that paper again.
At present, used coffee cups make up only a small percentage of this never-ending cycle. But that needn't always be the case.
So if they could all be collected without the lid, with no food inside, in a segregated collection, and they were brought to our process here, we could consume every single coffee cup that was used in the UK.
That's 3 billion coffee cups a year that could be kept out of landfill. Worth bearing in mind next time you pass one of these.